Hey friends, Joe the Farmer here, and today we're going to do some work on the Silverado. Most people out there that are watching this video probably have exposure, experience, or you may even have a truck. Pickup trucks are the lifeblood of a farm. Really, they're probably one of the most handy vehicles you can drive. Unless you have a whole lot of people, this thing is just, it's completely indispensable. We have to have one. I would love to have one that's a little bigger, maybe a 2500, even a 3500, but you know, this 1500 has done everything I've ever asked it to do. There's a couple times I wanted to haul a little bit more, but you know, you kind of dance with the girl you brought, right? We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you what the issue is here, and if you stick with us to the end, maybe we'll give you a little bit of a tip. Okay, before we get too far into this video, I want to tell you a little bit about the truck. This is a 2016 Chevy Silverado 1500. It's a Z71 series. There's not a whole lot of bells and whistles on it, but it does do everything that we've asked it to do. I've never gotten it stuck. I've towed just about anything I've tried to tow with it, and it just keeps coming back for more. So this truck has lived a very hard life. This has not been a cream puff, you know, take it to Lowe's or Home Depot kind of truck. This thing has been through the ringer. So I'll give you a quick little look around the vehicle here so you can kind of get an idea. Everything on it's original, even the Titan's license plate. We got that when we first bought it. And as you can see, it's, you know, it's in desperate need of a bath. But the biggest issue that we have right now is this tail light is leaking. So as I said, this tail light's leaking. We have to figure out how to fix that third brake light. And what I did was what anybody would do. I consulted the Google machine. And this is a pretty common issue, regardless of what kind of truck you have. Dodge, Ford, Chevy, doesn't really matter. Most trucks at some point in time will have that third tail light start to leak. Now, I believe that this leak happened because this truck, it lives outside. And with that ice storm that we had, I think the ice, somehow moisture got in there, contracted, did something to that gasket in there, and it's just another casualty out here of the ice storm. So there's lots of them. I went on Amazon, I found a new gasket for $13, which is supposedly a perfect fit. Now, it had great reviews. You know, if anyone's looked at recent dealerships and kind of seen what's going on there, I have noticed that our dealership here that's local has gone from about $65 to $75 an hour to about $150 an hour, depending on what they're working on. It's some range in there, but usually you're gonna pay over $100 an hour for someone to work on your car, and that's ridiculous. I mean, this thing is just about a sticker. So if I can undo 2 screws and then put this $13 part on there, screw it back in, and I'm done, that saves me a lot of travel time. It also saves me a hassle, and it saves me a lot of money. So if I could do that, hey, that pays for my $99 a year Prime membership. So let's go with that. I've never done this before, so you may see some kind of, you know, novice mistakes here. If you do, leave a comment down below. Let us know if there's something we should do differently. I know that some people have talked about putting a silicone bead around there, but I don't really want to do that. I mean, that seems like, I don't know, that's like caulking your car. It just doesn't seem like something you should do. We're gonna hop up in the bed of this dirty old truck, and we're gonna see if we can't get this thing fixed so I can take it through the car wash. Real quick, I forgot to mention, this DeWalt ratchet set, I've mentioned this in other videos. They didn't send this to me. I bought this. It is a fantastic set. Just about everything that you need is in this thing, and it's easy to carry around. And I use this probably once a day here on the farm. So I'll leave a link down for the third tail light gasket thingy, and I'll leave a link down there for that DeWalt kit too. If you don't have one and you're in the market for one, I'd strongly suggest it. Anyway, back to work. I've never filmed in the back of a pickup truck before. This is definitely new. Probably don't need seed bags or fertilizer bags or anything like that. So, okay, so even in that little DeWalt kit, it has one of these little star bits. This thing is a really cool kit, because I'm telling you, all these little random things, it just seems to have them in there. So DeWalt has figured this one out. They've done a good job, but I can see a little bit of moisture in this headlight casing. So hopefully I'm not wrong and there's not a crack or something in here, because I really just want this to be a $13 gasket. That'd be great. If any of you out there have had this issue, leave a comment down below. I'd love to know about it. And if you have a truck that's your favorite, let's go ahead and start that argument. Let's have some fun here in the comment section. Pretty simple. There's a little bit of a gasket, it looks like, on there. That's pretty cool. Okay, now's the moment of truth. Again, I've never done this. I have no idea what I'm about to get into here. Is there a hidden nut somewhere in there? No, it doesn't feel like it. Whew. Pretty simple. Not a whole lot to it. So, looks like I could just disconnect that main connect right there. If you're ever wondering what this thing looks like, Pretty neat. If you can see, I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up, but up here, there looks like there's a big dirt rim or kind of dirty area in there. So that's probably our culprit, because it feels still kind of spongy down here in the bottom. But up here, that definitely feels a lot more dried out and kind of worn out. So I'm guessing that that's going to be our issue. So we should be able to fix this. But I'm gonna have to get something to clean this thing off so I can make better contact. I'll be right back. Okay, so typically what I would do is I would get some kind of denatured alcohol. I don't have any denatured alcohol, but I do have isopropyl alcohol. So I'm gonna use that to clean it up. Alcohol will just kind of evaporate. It won't leave any kind of residue. And I don't wanna use anything that has like a, like a Windex or anything that has an ammonia base, because that could damage the paint. I don't know if it would or not, but I know that this won't, so we're gonna go with this. Okay, so I did save you the torture of watching me peel all of this stuff off the back of here. This just kind of black rubbery goo from the old gasket, but you can see I have most of it off there. There's still some adhesive on there, but that's okay. You know, the adhesive is just gonna stick to the other, but you wanna get as much of that off there as possible because you wanna have a good solid seal. But you know, everything else is cleaned off of here. I have all the dirt cleaned off here. That's a smooth surface. Now all we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get out the other gasket and then we'll put it on here. I'll leave a link down in the description below, but this is really very simple installation instructions. Of course, it's made in China, but here's the part number SKU MP0566. This is for a Silverado, I believe a 2014 to 2020-ish, but don't quote me on that. I'll leave a link to the description. And again, if you're wondering though, these are on Amazon, you can find them. So when we pull this out, you're gonna take out the centerpiece, and then this has a sticky adhesive on the back. So we wanna go ahead and set that on there, just make sure it's a good fit, which looks like it is. And that is way spongier than our last one. Our last one was just completely flattened out. So this should be exactly what we need, and hopefully no more leaks. Okay, looking pretty good. So what I'll do now is just make sure it's on there and there's no bubbles in any specific areas, especially along that top. Well, that's a great fit. So maybe we get to put this in our little arrow in our quiver of being able to fix the third tail light. One thing I can see though is there's some water in there. So I need to figure out how to get that out of there. So the water that is in there, what I will do is I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in there. If this does not evaporate out, then what I'll do is I'll take it back off and just kind of lay it up here in the sun, let the water evaporate through there with the sun, and let nature do its thing. But I want to make sure that this does make it watertight before I do that. Now we just screw it down, and it's very important on something like this, especially plastic or glass, that you don't tighten one side down all the way and then leave the other one loose, because that's a great way to break it. So we're going to tighten half and half and half and half, and kind of, we'll go Hercules on it the very last lap of this race. Well, folks, I think that's it. It's on there pretty good, sturdy, and you could feel the fact that it has perfect suction on there. So now the only thing we have to do is run some water on it and see if it leaks. If it doesn't, job's done. Now, if you can see, there's a little bit of staining up here, which I should be able to kind of shampoo that out, hopefully. But usually the water was just running down this back window. So I'm gonna get some water, I'm gonna pour it out there, and y'all tell me if it comes in. Well, that's about 32 ounces of water, so I'd say we're fixed. Well, we got the truck to stop leaking and we are good to go. It's about $13.17, I believe, and Amazon delivered it right to my door. How do you beat that? This dirty Silverado is gonna get a bath. I'm gonna take it through the car wash at some point, and pretty soon we're gonna bust out the pressure washers, and we're gonna have like equipment wash-a-palooza out here, because everything is muddy and filthy and dirty from the fall and the winter. And you know, that's just the way it goes here in Tennessee. You know, in the winter time, we don't really usually get a lot of really cold weather. We did this year. This year was just brutal, but usually we just get like muddy, mucky dirt and rain and filth everywhere. We just need to wash everything down, and the pressure washer is gonna get an absolute workout. So I need to go over there, change the oil on that, get ready for this summer. And I do appreciate y'all watching. If you want to come along in the future, hit that little subscribe button down there. We'd love to have you, and hopefully we'll see you again here on the farm. So I'm Joe the Farmer. We'll see you on the next one. We out.